This stuff was my equivalent to Disney films as a kid. You know how weird that is to say?
In heaven, everything is fine. In heaven, everything is fine. In heaven, everything is fine. You got your good things, and I got mine.
Oh god damn it. Hold up, wait. Let me get something. I have something prepared here. Okay. The film follows a guy named Henry Spencer, who looks he's living in like this cheap, lonely apartment in like this ratty part of town, and then he gets invited to this girl's house, and it's revealed that he knocked her up. So like they get the baby from the hospital, and it looks like some alien sperm child. Okay, we'll go with that. And then the girl leaves. She goes because she's mad or something, and then Harry dreams about a girl in his radiator, and then there's this woman, and then she's gone, and then there's this other woman, like from next door, that he has symbolic sex with, and then he dies, and then it's like revealed that 70% of the movie may or may not have been a dream, maybe, and then it ends. Okay, that's not all there is to this film. But even after seeing it several times, I find it very hard to describe to people. And for good reason, it's a freaking weird film. Not that weirdness is all it has to offer, but still, it's 90% freaking Weirdsville. This is mostly due to the fact that Eraserhead isn't a narrative in the conventional sense. It tells a story, yes, but through heavily symbolic and abstract imagery. It's a film that almost requires analysis, and from that description alone, I'm sure many of you will think it to be cold and cryptic, and at times it can be. Eraserhead is able to create this ugly, unpleasant world unlike anything I've ever seen before, even from big-budget movies. Traces of surrealist imagery and German expressionist lighting can be seen all throughout the film, making it very nightmarish and haunting. Perhaps my favorite of these nightmarish elements is the set design, which paints Harry's city as this fuming, disgusting center of decay. Bricks block his vision to the outside world, pipes weave in and out of homes. It's very dystopic and depressing. Insofar as the soundtrack, Eraserhead has, well, almost no soundtrack. The entire film's action is padded out through ambient industrial noise, and it's very effective for the feel Lynch was going for. You really think after a certain period of time that you're in a bad dream, and there are few other films that have ever made me feel that way before. I'd also like to comment that the film is littered with birth symbolism. Phallic and yonic-shaped props are everywhere, and at times it can feel very H.R. Geiger, and appropriately. The entire film is a surrealist representation of a man's subconscious, so bizarre, inherently sexual imagery is to be expected, and Eraserhead definitely delivers on that front. I'm sure there's acting in Eraserhead somewhere, but it's really not important. That's not to say the actors don't do their best with the material they're given. Mary's father, for example, as this happy-go-lucky weirdo makes me laugh, but really that's about it. This isn't an actor's film. Meaning is carried largely through the imagery. So, next topic. Eraserhead has become one of the most analyzed films in cinema history. This is due in large part to the fact that director David Lynch refuses to reveal his intentions behind making it. In fact, the only clue he has offered us in 40 years is the sentence, "It's a dream about dark and troubling things." Yeah, thanks a lot there, Lynch. As a result of this, the film is still open to interpretation, so what the hell? Here's my take on it. The film is a parable about childbirth-related post-traumatic stress disorder. Childbirth-related PTSD is a mental condition that can arise when heavy emotional trauma or birth complications are attached to delivery, and these qualities can be seen in Eraserhead literally from the first scene. An utterly bored and disdainful Henry floats across the screen, and a disgusting god or fate-like man pulls a lever and initiates procreation. The boredom on Henry's face symbolizes his dissatisfaction with intercourse, which this entire scene is symbolizing, and his relationship with Mary, who's the planet/egg he's floating over. The disgusting godlike figure also symbolizes this dissatisfaction, implying that the forces creating the child come from an ugly place for Henry. These symbols of emotional dissatisfaction are reinforced later by a torn picture of Mary in Henry's drawer, and this line when they reunite.
I didn't know if you wanted me to come or not. Where have you been? You never come around anymore.
A baby in a relationship this miserable would only make things worse, which is exactly the emotional turmoil that fuels childbirth-related PTSD. As well, the repulsive, malformed appearance of the child could be a literal or symbolic birth complication. Childbirth-related PTSD victims often see their children as deformed, whether they are or not. By portraying his character's vision of their child as warped, whether it's accurate or not, Lynch takes us inside their childbirth-related PTSD. Note how no one else seems to see the baby as a monstrosity.
They're still not sure it is a baby.
It's premature, but there's a baby.
But beyond fitting the general description of childbirth-related PTSD, Eraserhead hits all of the symptoms. Throughout the narrative, Henry, and even his wife, Mary, suffer from inappropriate thoughts and nightmares, especially ones about Henry having intercourse with other women, being consumed by his child, and dying, problems developing parent-child relationships, which can be seen in Mary's failure as a mother and Henry's own destruction of the child later, avoidance of sex and birth-related issues, which can be seen in the sexual noises and advances made in Mary's house that are later ignored, the girl in Henry's radiator that fuels his escapism through song and squashes spermatoza, they being the reason for his current misery, and this scene where he takes his symbolic sperm and locks it away never to be used again, and anxiety, which the film's soundtrack and environment imply. While I acknowledge this interpretation doesn't explain everything in the film, it's just what I see in it. And to be fair, Eraserhead is a hard film to interpret. I don't know if I can recommend Eraserhead to everyone. If you don't like films that you'll have to see more than once to get, it's not worth your time. But if you like unconventional cinema that's really going to challenge you, I'd give it a watch. It's fairly easy to find online, so you've really got no excuse. I'd say really check it out.